Hi there, what's up? Andrew here from n5in5weeks.com, simple way to learn Japanese. Now, in a recent video, I told you about why you need to learn Japanese grammar, like why it's so important, why you can't get anywhere without learning grammar. But a big question you probably have is what textbook should you use, right? So I mean, we both agree on the fact that most textbooks aren't that good really, and if you're looking for something really like worth your money, it's either Minna No Nihongo series or the Genki series. Like those are by far the best two grammar series in Japanese. That's why like every serious school uses them. Like if you're going to language school that doesn't make you use one of these two books, like you're being fucking scammed, mate. Like anyway, so Genki or Minna No Nihongo. It's not that easy of a question. It really depends on what you're looking for. So first I'll say what are the main differences between the two books, right? And then based on like the differences I point out, you can choose really what's right for you. And starting from Genki, Genki is sort of like a more everybody friendly kind of book. So it's basically like you'll get sort of like English explanations for grammar and translations of words. So if you're learning on your own, Genki is definitely a bit more like easier to start with, because it's gonna kind of like walk you through the whole thing, right? Like it's gonna walk you through the whole thing. It's gonna show you, oh, so pair form is used for this and this and that, and it'll explain to you in English. And obviously that's gonna make it a lot easier for you, especially like if you're kind of like a casual learner. So like if you're a casual guy, you're like, oh, you know what? I don't want to learn Japanese that fast. I'd rather like not have to like put too much effort mentally. Then Genki is like that. It's more of a chilled approach. So for example, let's say if you're like even in Japan and you're not attending a language school and you're like, you know what, I'm getting exposure to the language, I just want to brush up on my grammar a little, yeah, go for Genki. So Genki is more for casual learning. Now Minna No Nihongo on the other hand is like hardcore as fuck, and that's why I prefer Minna No Nihongo, to be honest. Basically it's completely in Japanese, right? So you can't start using that book until you've learned Hiragana and Katakana real well. Don't worry, I put down a video below showing you how you can learn both of those in like 2 days, even less. And why is it so hardcore? There's no like aid or nothing, and it's very structured, like one small lesson at a time. So it's like small chunks, and like you can easily like learn one chapter a day of the Minna No Nihongo. And it's structured like that because it's planned to be used in a sort of like a Japanese study class. If you're in a language school, you'll be using Minna No Nihongo. Genki on the other side is a bit more like easy to use without a teacher, because there's like it's got like descriptions in English explaining things, so it kind of explains the concepts for you. And from this point of view, Genki is sort of easier to figure out. But on the other side, it's very like sort of like, I don't know, extensive. Like chapters have like so much shit in them, and it's a bit of a slower book to go through. Whereas Minna No Nihongo, you can just say, I'm gonna do this chapter today, this chapter tomorrow, this chapter the day after tomorrow, and go like that until you finish it. So yeah, which one's better, Genki, Minna No Nihongo? So here's my opinion, right? If you're not that serious about learning Japanese and you just want kind of like an idea of how things work, then yeah, get Genki. Genki will kind of like explain to you. You won't have to like really concentrate a lot on learning the grammar because of how Genki like sort of plays it out for you. But if you're like a hardcore guy, like if you're like me, right, and you want to like, you know, like N5 in 5 weeks, right, reach that level in a short amount of time, Minna No Nihongo is much better, for the simple reason that because of how Minna No Nihongo is laid out, you can actually say 35 days from today, I'll know all the grammar I need to know, right? And then just pick at it one piece at a time. And because of how like compact Minna No Nihongo is, it's very good to use with teachers. And yes, it's going to take more concentration from you because there's no English aid, it's only in Japanese, but you're going to get much better results. So when I talk about stuff like, you know, even the title of the channel, right, N5 in 5 weeks, like those results, you get those results by being efficient, right? By putting in proper fucking focus on something tough, and you're like, one lesson, like every day you like make a step forward. And Minna No Nihongo is designed to let you do that. So if you're serious about learning Japanese, if you want like if you're thinking, okay, I want to work hard, I want to learn Japanese fast, give me something tough, I'll get it done and I'll learn Japanese. Yeah, Minna No Nihongo is for you. For those of you who are kind of like intimidated by like the old Japanese thing, that style. Like I said, just learn Hiragana and Katakana first, do some practice. It's not going to be as difficult as you think it is. And if you're still struggling, if you're self-studying with Minna No Nihongo and you're still struggling, this is my advice, okay? You know Taikim's Guide to Learning Japanese Grammar? I'll put the link down below. It's an amazing free tool you can use to learn grammar. The downside of it is that it's kind of like because it's not a book, because there's not like a sort of like a structure to it, it's hard to actually learn grammar just from that. You'll end up getting lost. But it's an amazing tool to use in combination with Minna No Nihongo, because as you're going through chapters and you see stuff only in Japanese and you don't get it, you can kind of use the Taikim's Guide to decode it. So when I was studying Japanese, I got Minna No Nihongo and I helped myself with the Taikim Guide. Like I said, if you're casual about it, if learning Japanese isn't as important to you, get a Genki, it'll be much better, it'll put less pressure on you, you won't quit. But if you are serious about learning this stuff, if you want to learn it as fast as you can, then Minna No Nihongo is the better option of the two books. And I mean, that's it really. If you've got any other questions about any other textbooks, like if there's any textbook you're thinking about buying, you want to ask my opinion on it, I'll just comment down below and I'll give you my opinion. I've read like most textbooks because like I'm going to like Japanese Studies University, so I've kind of been through a lot of textbooks, you know, just seeing them just out of curiosity really, and I can help you with whatever you need to study. Oh, another thing about Minna No Nihongo, if you're planning to go to an actual Japanese school in Japan, you're gonna have to use Minna No Nihongo. That's what they'll require for you. So if you have plans to go to Japan, you might as well buy a copy now and start studying with it. Either way, whether you choose Genki or Minna No Nihongo, make sure you're studying grammar. Like I can't stress enough how important grammar is. Oh god, like watch another video where I explain why you need grammar, because it's so important, and if you want to really study it, just do it. It's just something that you have to get done with. Push through it. It's so worth the result. Like good grammar, and I'm not saying sophisticated grammar, but like just good understanding of grammar, of basic grammar, is the difference between someone who sounds fluent and someone who sounds like a fucking FOB Romanian fat guy. And by the way, if you're a fat Romanian guy watching this, like please, I love you man, I love you, but you know what I mean. Anyway, that's it. Andrew from n5in5weeks.com, simple way to learn Japanese. Not studying grammar, like just let you have to start doing it right away. I'll put a video down below showing you why you need to start learning grammar in Japanese.